next one is slow burn, and I don't know where that's come from. Hi, I'm Claudia, and I want to know what my hypothetical favourite fanfiction would be. So what I've done is I've looked through my AO3 bookmarks and I've seen the percentage of each tag that is in there. So basically, we're looking through my AO3 bookmarks again, but in a different way this time. If you want to watch me go through all of my AO3 bookmarks and recommend different fics, then you can watch that video. It will be linked in the iCard in one of these corners, I think this one. But today we're going to be looking at it from more of a statistics point of view. I am a giant maths nerd. Well, at least I used to be. I'm someone who did further maths at A-level, which you should not do. Don't do it. It's not worth it, I promise. But due to my general maths knowledge, I know how basic statistics work. So what I've done is I've gone through all the most popular tags in my AO3 bookmarks and found the percentage of my bookmarks that have that tag. And then we're going to go through all of those tags, ships, and fandoms to see what my hypothetical favourite fanfiction would be. Obviously, this is just completely based off stats, not the actual fic, so it's hypothetical, you know what I mean? Also, if I sound a bit weird, I'm getting a cold, but I need to film this today because otherwise I'm not going to have a chance till like a week from now, and I want to get this video out this week, so just ignore it, okay? I'm fine. Also, when we're talking about these percentages, especially in the tags, there's going to be a lot of overlap. So the percentages aren't going to add up to 100% total because some fics will be tagged both fluff and angst, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's start with the smallest category, fandoms. Now, when I looked through all 493 of my bookmarks, yes, there's 493 of them, I found that there were 3 main fandoms that were in my bookmarks. There were other fandoms that had 1 or 2 fics bookmarks, some that had about 10 to 15, but I've left those out because they're so small, it's just a bit inconsequential. They are mostly less popular TV shows and that kind of thing, or just fandoms where there's less fics, or maybe a certain ship I like has a really small number of fics. Also, I've got all this information on my iPad, on my notes app, so if you see me looking down, that's where I'm looking, okay? So the 3 main fandoms are Harry Potter, 911, and Chicago PD. I have bookmarked 184 Harry Potter fanfics. Now, some of those are marauders, obviously they are still tagged the same as Harry Potter because that's just the fandom tag. Some fics are tagged with a separate marauders fandom tag, but there wasn't enough of them for it to really show up in my top ones on AO3, so we're just going to go with the Harry Potter in general. That is 37.3% of my total bookmarks are Harry Potter. I was expecting this because Harry Potter is like the main fandom I read on AO3. I haven't read it in a while, but for a long time, like a good 8 months, I was exclusively reading Harry Potter fanfiction. So I was expecting there to be quite a lot, as well as, you know, I've started reading Marauders now, so that's also going to add into that. So I was very much expecting it to be that high. However, one I was not expecting to be that high is 911. I have 168 911 fics bookmarked. That is 34.1%, which is only a tiny bit less than how many Harry Potter fics I've got. And yes, I've read a lot of 911 fics, but I thought there'd be less bookmarked because I've reread quite a lot of them. And obviously you can't bookmark something twice, so I thought there'd be less 911 fics than that, but apparently not. Season 8 of 911 has finally started in the UK, so I'm only like 4 episodes behind America, which is, you know, great. Everyone's saying Buddy's gonna go canon in episode 6. And I know as soon as it does, there's going to be spoilers everywhere. I'm going to try my best to avoid them. I would like to see it with my own eyes, please. But yeah, most of those fics will be buddy fics. There's probably a couple which don't have the buddy ship tagged. And those are probably mostly just platonic team bonding one-shots, but most of them will be buddy. And then my third highest fandom, which I was not expecting, is Chicago PD. I mentioned in a couple of other videos that I only started watching the One Chicago franchise properly in April of this year. So it's only been about 6 months, and for it to already be in my top 3 fandoms on AO3, that's like a lot of fics for 6 months. I have 62 Chicago PD fics bookmarked, which is 12.6% of my total bookmarks. And yes, that's like less than half of my 911 bookmarks, but that's a lot for 6 months. Also, when I was reading Chicago PD fics, I kind of stopped bookmarking one-shots. If they were a longer one-shot, say over 5,000 words, then I would bookmark it. If it was less than that, then I would just give it a kudos, which is probably why there's less bookmarks than 911 and Harry Potter, where I bookmark pretty much everything I like. I have now gone back to like page 1 of all Chicago PD fanfics on A3, sorted by kudos, obviously. And because of that, I'm rereading a lot of fanfics, so that number will definitely be going up in the next couple of months. I will be bookmarking all of those one-shots that I didn't bookmark before, basically. And that's basically my top 3 fandoms. So now we should probably move on to ships. Now, my most popular ship, by far, is Buddy. I'm not really that surprised because my Harry Potter bookmarks are split between a bunch of different ships, whereas my 911 bookmarks are just Buddy pretty much. I have a total of 165 Buddy fics bookmarked, which is 33.5% of my total bookmarks. And as I said before, I have a total of 168 911 fics bookmarked, which means there are 3 911 fanfics that I have bookmarked that don't have Buddy in them. And those will probably be the platonic ones I mentioned earlier. It makes sense there's only a few. I'm a Buddy stan at heart. My second most popular ship also doesn't really surprise me. It's Drarry. I only started reading Marauders about a year ago, whereas I started reading Drarry like a year and a half ago, so it makes sense it's my second most popular. I have 68 Drarry fics bookmarked, which is 13.8% of my total bookmarks. It makes sense that Drarry's second because I've basically been reading Drarry fics since I started reading fanfiction on AO3, so that one's not that surprising. However, my third most popular is very surprising. My third most popular ship on AO3 is Upstead. Somehow. If you don't know, Upstead is a Chicago PD ship, that's where it's coming from. I have 55 Upstead fics bookmarked, which is a total of 11.2% of my total bookmarks. That also means there's 7 Chicago PD fics that I have bookmarked that aren't Upstead, so I presume those are just platonic ones. I have a few platonic Halstead Brothers one-shots bookmarked, so that might account for the 7 others. Also, in my last video I did about my favourite fictional characters, and I talked about Hayley Upton in there, but I forgot to mention one thing, so I'm doing it now. There are certain fictional characters that in my head relate to specific bits of songs. Some have like a whole song, some have a verse of a song, some have the bridge. And for me, Hayley Upton has a specific bit of a song. And this is specifically season 10, season 11 Hayley Upton, which, spoiler alert, after Jay leaves, and that is the bridge of Peter by Taylor Swift. Basically what happened is one day I was listening to Peter and I was listening to the bridge and I thought about it and I was like, oh, this kind of sounds like Hayley in season 10 or 11. Oh, this sounds like Hayley in season 10 and 11. And then I almost started crying, so that was fun. It just makes so much sense. If you've never heard the bridge of Peter by Taylor Swift, go and listen to it, especially if you're a Chicago PD fan. I won't confess that I waited, but I let the lamp burn as the men masqueraded, I hoped you'd return. Like, that sounds like Hayley in season 10, waiting for Jay to come home. With your feet on the ground, tell me all that you've learned, because love's never lost when perspective is earned. Like, he was going there to, like, fix himself or whatever. Like, it makes so much sense. Now, the next couple lines don't really make sense because it talks about being 25, but just ignore that bit. You said you'd come and get me, but you were 25 and the shelf life of those fantasies has expired. Lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life. Forgive me, Peter, please know that I tried to hold on to the days that you were mine, but the woman who sits by the window has turned out the light. Like, the divorce arc. And now, every time I listen to Peter, I almost start crying because I'm thinking about Hayley and Jay getting a divorce. If anyone wants to make a Hayley Upton edit to the bridge of Peter by Taylor Swift, I will watch it a gazillion times. And I will also bill you for my therapy. Anyway, there's my brief Upstead tangent over. Sorry, we'll get back to the rest of the video now. My fourth most popular ship on AO3 is Hinny. And now I know what you're saying, why is Hinny even in there? But I am a sucker for Dudley Dursley redemption fics, which quite often have Hinny. So there's quite a few of them in my bookmarks. Also, there's a few Harry Potter becomes a professor fics, which quite often have Hinny, so that's where it comes from. But yeah, I have 40 Hinny fics bookmarked, which is 8.1% of my total bookmarks. My next most popular ship is Wolfstar, which I have 33 fics, and that's 6.7% of my total fics. However, within that percentage will be a lot of Drarry fics that have background Wolfstar. I haven't bookmarked too many like solo Wolfstar fics, and that is solely because Marauders fics are so angsty, they take me months to read. I have been reading Best Friend's Brother for like 6 months, and that's both Wolfstar and Jegulus. And Jegulus isn't even on this list because it takes me so long to read the angsty Marauders fics. So what I'm saying is, yes, I am a Marauders fan, but the fics are so beautifully angsty that they take me ages to read. Because for me, when fics are getting so angsty that I'm on the verge of tears all the time, I take a break from them. And then I go back when I'm ready, which means it takes me a while to read the fics. It doesn't help that Wolfstar fics are all like giant. They're all super long, which I love, but it also means it takes me even longer to read them. And I've got one more ship on my list because all the others had so few fics bookmarked, I didn't just think it was worth talking about them. And that's Fred Hermione. I have 20 Fred Hermione fics bookmarked, which is 4.1% of my total bookmarks. Fred Hermione isn't like my main ship that I read, but if I want a bit of like something new, something different, then I'll go and look for that. I don't mind it, I quite enjoy it. I like Hermione ending up with anyone but Ron, so, you know, it's pretty good. I don't mind Ron and Hermione, I just prefer to not have that, so sometimes I'll look for a Fred Hermione fic if I want something fun, something different, you know what I mean? Which is why there's not that many, but there's a significant portion. You see what I'm saying? And then the last thing we have is my tags. I've got the stats for my top 8 tags in my bookmarks. And quite a lot of these are overlapping just because fics have multiple tags, and some are tagged both fluff and angst. You see what I mean? So just bear that in mind when I'm talking about percentages. So my top tag by far far is Hurt Comfort. I love a bit of angst followed by a fluffy happy ending, so I'm not surprised. I have 106 Hurt Comfort fics bookmarked, which is 21.5% of my total bookmarks, which I shouldn't be shocked. There's going to be a lot. I love Hurt Comfort so much. But with only one bookmark less, also not to my surprise, is Fluff. That has 105 bookmarks, which is 21.3% of my total bookmarks. I'm not surprised. I love angsty fics that have a fluffy happy ending, and those kind of fics are going to be tagged Hurt Comfort and Fluff, so it's not a shocker. Angst is next. I have 85 angst fics bookmarked, and that's 17.2% of my total bookmarks. A lot of those will be overlapping with Hurt Comfort just because that's part of Hurt Comfort. The next few tags are when it gets really interesting. So my next most popular tag is alternate universe canon divergence. It's a bit of a surprise that it's this high, but I'm not too shocked. A lot of Drarry or Wolfstyle fics will have this tag because they're changing the way the canon works, so it's not really that much of a surprise. I thought it'd be a bit lower, but I'm not that shocked. I have 68 of those fics bookmarked, which is 13.8% of my total bookmarks. Also, as a side note, the alternate universe tag without the canon divergence bit, I have 45 of those bookmarked, which is 9.1%, but a lot of those are overlapping, so, you know, I'm not really going to talk about that in too much detail. What I'm saying is most fics that have alternate universe canon divergence tagged probably also have just alternate universe tagged, so it's not really that much of a surprise. The only difference is the plain alternate universe tag could have a completely different universe, whereas alternate universe canon divergence will still probably be in the canon setting. The canon divergence one is going to be a lot of those Harry Potter fics where something changes and it completely changes the story, but you're still in the canon Harry Potter universe. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, the next tag is getting together, which I didn't think would be this high, but now I'm thinking about it, kind of makes sense. Like most shitfics have them getting together at some point, so the getting together tag is kind of a given. I have 53 fics with getting together tagged bookmarked, which is 10.8% of my total fics. My next tag is angst with a happy ending, which I thought would be way higher, but it's actually much lower than I thought it would be. It's a pretty long tag, so I'm presuming most fics just don't use it. Anyway, I have 48 fics bookmarked with that tag, which is 9.7% of my total fics. My last two tags are really interesting, because the next one is slow burn. And I don't know where that's come from. I have 46 fics that are tagged with slow burn bookmarked. That's 9.3% of my total bookmarks, which is so many. I'm not a slow burn girl. I like a bit of slow burn, but not enough that it would probably be tagged. I like a bit of pining, but then I want to see them get together and be all happy and domestic. So I'm really shocked that slow burn is this high. I did not expect that. And then my last tag is first kiss. Now you might be thinking, Claudia, getting together is on there. Surely first kiss would also be on there. But when I'm looking at my fics, I don't often spot a first kiss tag, so maybe I've just been missing it for all this time. Maybe when I scan the tags list, I'm just not seeing it, but I didn't expect it to be on this list. But I have 44 bookmarks with first kiss tagged. And that's 8.9% of my total fics, which is a lot to have missed it every time. Like, now I'm thinking about it, it makes sense, but when I was getting these stats, it really shocked me because I was not expecting that. Anyway, those are all the tags I've got. So now for my hypothetical favourite fanfic. So my hypothetical favourite fanfic would be a buddy fic with Hurt Comfort, angst with a happy ending, canon divergence, and slow burn and first kiss. Obviously, this is just based completely off the stats, not on the actual writing or plot of the fic. And those things would definitely change my mind, but this is just all a hypothetical situation. And when we're talking about this hypothetical fic, I'm ignoring my fandom stats. Because if I used my fandom stats, I'd be talking about a Harry Potter fic with Buddy, which I bet there's one out there, but not many. Also, my Harry Potter stats are skewed with Marauders, so we're just ignoring that for a minute and just going with 911, okay? So yeah, that's my hypothetical favourite fanfiction based off my AO3 bookmarks. If you enjoyed this video, I have to be awkward and cringy and ask you to like the video or maybe subscribe for more videos, you know, or maybe watch some of my other videos. You might like them. And if you think you have the same hypothetical favourite fanfiction, maybe leave a comment or tell me what yours would be. If you want to see more of me, you can follow me on TikTok, there'll be a link down below. I post fanfiction based TikToks almost every day, so there's a bunch of content waiting for you. Also, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter and listen to my rambles. Oh, and I'm also on Blue Sky if you want to follow me on that, because Twitter seems to be a sinking ship, so, you know. So yeah, I've been Claudia, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully see you all soon. Bye!